Welcome to Spectra Sound. My name is Jim McGee, and I am the creator and owner of this great facility we are in tonight. And we are basically a tracking and mixing room. However, we're taking it one step further this month. We're doing video. And I am producing a show called the Spectra Sessions. And what that is all about is it's local and non-local artists who do exclusively original music. So you'll hear that, and you'll also hear little stories, what's behind these songs, because that's the most interesting part sometimes. So sit back and enjoy the show. Please put us up on some good high-quality speakers, because we did a lot of mixing here. And or plug in your headphones. And the first one we're doing, getting out of the gate here, is Doug Hawk, the Doug Hawk Proposition. He's a local artist and uses Philadelphia musicians. He gigs down there a lot. So hope you enjoy it. Sit back and enjoy the ride. So I'm sitting here with Doug Hawk from the Doug Hawk Proposition, and just gonna ask him a few questions. We did a whole video shoot tonight with the band, which absolutely floored me. I love this band, and I'm gonna ask him a basic question first. Doug, what got you into music, and how long have you been doing this?
I actually got started really late. I was way into sports. I grew up in a sports family, and I wanted to be a baseball player, actually, until I was probably 18 years old. And then I went to I just started singing when I was a senior in high school, like in my friend's basement. They had a guitar and an amp set up.
So singing came first?
Singing came first, for sure. And I was always I was really into music as a kid, too. But I didn't really start singing until that last year of high school, and then that summer was when I met like a guy who would play guitar, and I joined a band the following fall, and then it just kind of took off from there. So it's been a while. And keyboards, like maybe last 10 years or so. It's I just saw the need for it.
Who would you say are some big influences on your writing and playing?
I mean, definitely Stevie Wonder stuff I've always been drawn to. The catalog is amazing. The message is great. You know, it's really positive. Mm-hmm. You know, individually, I think, you know, people like Donny Hathaway are really important to me. I was always into Steely Dan and Tower of Power. Like, I was always drawn towards funkier stuff and Earth, Wind, and Fire and those kind of bands.
I could hear that in the rhythm section.
Really? And then, you know, for me, the writing aspect is very cathartic for me. I could tend to be frustrated by earth stuff, politics and environmental things and that sort of thing, and not having a voice for it is really, I found, is very frustrating. So playing these songs is very cathartic and therapeutic in a lot of ways. Tell someone with all of your mind, why fight? Be free and easy, positively living just to live every day. Take whatever comes your way, in the end it ends just the same. No way to make up for what is lost. Can't change the role you play when the sun sets on your days. So take a chance and try to be good, 'cause you should, 'cause you should. Because a ghost dies every time the man that is his host tries to elevate the level of his most high self-illuminated eye. Future sets up space for your fears. The past projects its way, paralyzes your present state, delaying what you wanna become. don't run, be someone, not less, don't care. Becoming a testament to what we can be. An improvement on currently. What we're conditioned to believe, that propaganda's running deep in your heart. And that's just a start. Don't let it pull us apart, because a ghost starts every time the man that is his whole strive to elevate the level of his most high self-illuminated eye. And it'd be so nice if everybody paid for things with no price. Eliminate the middleman and embrace life. We can do so much better than what we did.
One of the things that really drew me into your music is the lyrics. You know, this is not baby shake it baby lyrics.
Yeah.
This is like a thinking man's lyric to me. And what inspires you? Like, what gets you going to write songs
Well,
like
it's
we heard
that.
tonight?
Yeah, it's that frustration. I think it's frustration. I mean, I think when you have ideas that aren't necessarily like the general populace, you know, I probably lean towards a little more of an anarchist. You know, and surveillance and government control and those sorts of things really frustrate me on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
And really, you can't escape it except for playing music. So that's kind of like when I can get my head above the clouds for a little bit, feel really, in essence, like freedom. Total
Right.
freedom, you know.
Freedom to say it.
Yeah, freedom.
Yeah.
You wrote a thing, and at least for now, I can still say things. I think it's subtle enough. It's not really blatant, like calling things out. I
Right.
try to make it a little bit more poetic. There's poison in my well. I said it's not enough to kill. But to say it in such a way, make me think I better move today. It was a rich guy on necessary spin, and act sadly preventable. In no remorse, shown it all. So I went to ask him why, staring into his vacant eye. That's why he couldn't empathize. He said it wasn't in his bloodline. When I took one look at this crook standing there in the door, his empty treasure piled high on the floor, I knew he'd never let me in. So I told him that I loved him, 'cause that's the only way to make a man realize his ego is swaying. I brought the whole world to its knees. It's our world, you can either love it or you can leave. piled high on the floor. I knew he'd never let me in, so I told him that I loved him, and that's the only way to make a man realize his ego is way. I brought the whole world to its knees. This is our world. You can either love it or you can leave.
So, Doug, I Come From Nowhere. It's an odd title. You have to expand on this a little bit. I have to tell you that it made me think of Buddhism, because I've been to a few retreats over the years with Thich Nhat Hanh. And can you expand on where this song is going, what it's about?
Yeah, I definitely, I've gone through a lot of different phases in my life. So that phase, when I wrote that song, which is one of my earliest original songs, I was really into spirituality and Buddhism specifically, but I was also into some other healing modalities and all this sort of stuff. I had actually taken a massage training course, shiatsu training course, like just prior to that. So I was really, really in that mindset. It's one of those songs that just kind of wrote itself. Like once I had that little hook, I Come From Nowhere, it was a really easy song to kind of to work through. And it's pretty simple structure too. The chord changes and everything are pretty basic, but it's funny listening to it now compared to what it started as. It was similar, but this band gives it a whole nother level. Like this song specifically, I remember when just listening back to what we did, and it was pretty incredible groove that those guys put together, and they make everything I do sound so much better than even I hear it most of the time.
Well, I come from nowhere, and nothing is what I'm made of. I'm just trapped here in my soul's chosen home. Let's make this one thing clear. Well, I'd rather be no one. Just an idea for the one collector hold. So when you know it's time to go, and when you feel it's time to leave, well, have no fear, there's something more. Eyes on cold, eyes on cold. Dispatch with anything that tells you how to live it. Love your ideals based on unrelenting truth. Your faith is so severe, but there's nothing that's as sacred as having no fear of being all alone. So when you know it's time to go, and when you feel it's time to leave, I have no fear, there's something more. Eyes on cold, eyes on cold. Say something that's not what you've been told. Take hold of that which you are old. Lead a life that's guided by your soul.
So, Doug, I've been doing this for about 30 years, and when something is really clicking, I just know it right away. I mean, we did a sound check today, went really quick, and it was just a matter of once I got levels, just kind of pushing faders up and, putting things in with the proper balance, and I wasn't riding a lot of gain. Like somebody had to come down a level, they did, and somebody played louder or did a solo, it's like the band almost mixed itself, which is very professional to me, and I just kind of see this band is going to go someplace.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I was going to say, they're pros.
They are.
That's the bottom line. You know, they all came in at different times, and everybody can kind of read. So we were able to kind of get through some of the early gigs by just reading through charts. But now, like we're all finding our little groove, and the live shows a lot of times, like where we can stretch a little bit, get pretty amazing. Like, you get a little misty-eyed sometimes, It's just like a beautiful experience, and everybody's kind of into it together, which is what I've really always been looking for, is to have a close-knit group of like-minded people that are generally positive, and we have fun together. We all have dark senses of humor, which is great, as these guys found out today. So it's been great, man. I feel happy because it's been a struggle to find the right pieces and who's available and who's not in other groups and that sort of thing. So I feel like pretty lucky and grateful at the moment that this is what's happening right now.
Well, it's a long road. You chain your slave to the grind, wish everything aside, a waste of your time. But then you're all alone, in a shutter room you try to forget how you ain't done nothing and your chances all been spent. Well, can I be your baby? Can you be my lady? Please don't tell me maybe, save me from this bottomless hole. And try to capture all the beauty, bring the bounty too. I truly want it all, allow me just a minute or two to be blessed by you. Let me explain myself. I won't sell my soul for a dime. Just wanted to see what it was like on the other side, to live in luxury, absolutely worry-free, feasting on the fruits of my prosperity. Well, can I be your baby? Can you be my lady? Please don't tell me maybe, save me from this bottomless hole. And try to capture all the beauty, bring the bounty too. I truly want it all, allow me just a minute or two to be blessed by you. I'm trying to find what's hiding deep inside this life that I've been riding like a wave that's saving all my grace and making my day to day. 'Cause there will never be another love that fills me up. It's like a drug that never lets me down, but time to time I need to ride.
in the dark. I mean, we're all sort of in the dark now, politically and government, Big Brother, all that stuff. It made me think of politics. So could you expand on this a little bit and tell me where this came from?
I'm really into this classic light versus dark struggle. I feel like it's kind of an eternal thing. I mean, you could look back to, not that I'm super religious in this way, but the biblical stuff, you know, light versus darkness. So really, from a lyric writing perspective, it's a great pool of ideas to pull from. And there's also good like rhyme potential in that too. I have that other song, Illuminated, and I refer to it in a bunch of other songs. And I think it's just for me, having a lot of like Taoist leanings, it's really like a black and white, yin and yang, light versus dark thing. And I really like to manipulate that in my songs. You know, it's almost like making like a puzzle out of it, almost like a Zen koan in a lot of ways. It may not always make the most sense, but it's presenting a bunch of ideas. And I feel, I mean, I think we are in the dark. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily because of politics. I think that arises from the fact that most people seem to be in the dark. Maybe, you know, it's almost like the wool's been pulled over their eyes. So another literal or a reference to darkness. And that's kind of manifested all these other things that are happening. And we're kind of living in this darkness, basically. And at the same time, I really like to, I know my life was changed many times by songs with a positive message. So even though I do need the catharsis of speaking about darkness and kind of moving all that stuff that I feel like we exist in, I always like to have the positive spin, hope, and light, and you know, bringing everything to fruition and that sort of stuff. You know, being a creative force in the world for good. So I really love that dichotomy of light versus dark. It's a great writing tool to work from.
Stay